Hi, and welcome to the SEO podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burris, owner of eWebStyle.
I am Charles Lewis, your Internet Marketing Specialist.
Welcome back to another fun-filled edition of our podcast. We broadcast our podcast live from Houston, Texas. This is podcast number 243. We are excited. As always, there is a tip from our previous podcast,
Which is, by the way, in the Woodlands.
Oh yeah, at the
mall, at the Microsoft Center store.
So we got an invite.
Center store? The Microsoft store.
Yeah, we got an invite from Microsoft to actually broadcast our podcast live from the store. We actually have the opportunity to repeat, and so we'll probably be doing one there every now and then. So, incidentally, our tip from our last podcast is related to Bing, and the tip is make sure you are logged in to get points for searching you do on Bing.
Yeah, now, unfortunately, most of you probably don't search often on Bing, but if you do, we picked up this tidbit while we were there. Log in, and you probably don't have a Bing account, so create one. Hotmail, MSN, Live. There's probably a couple other ones, Facebook maybe. Yeah, log into Bing. Be sure to do that before you begin searching, because what happens is you can get what they call reward points, and with those it's simply reward points based on how many times you search.
That's cool.
Bing's an awesome way to encourage people to search. Unfortunately, they just don't promote it enough. But with those reward points, you get like Xbox games and access to different Xbox features and
maybe some
movie
videos,
tickets and all kinds of crazy
gift
stuff. Gift cards was put on the list. So it's a lot of things you can do with these reward points that you get by simply searching. So if you're gonna search Bing, log in and do it.
Make sure you're getting paid for it. Hey, I actually put the link to that process. There's a video of how their program works.
Yeah, we tweeted that out. I saw it.
It's on our Facebook page. So this is how you connect with us. Let's just get this out of the way right now. Facebook.com/eWebStyle. YouTube.com/eWebStyle. Twitter.com/eWebStyle. Instagram.com/eWebStyle. And you can always follow us on our G Plus page. We're going to ask you to do us a small favor. First, please remember, we are your friendly local neighborhood top position snatchers, where our mantra is,
don't be a douche.
Do not be a douche. It's a bad look. So you can do us a small favor. There's a number of them that we're going to ask you to do. Maybe you can do all three of them. We would really appreciate it. That is just write a review for us. The first one has 3 steps. Go on to iTunes, create an account, write a review. If you choose to, send us an email, podcast@e-webstyle.com, and we'll probably read your review on air. In fact, I got 3 today. I removed one of my tear tattoos.
That's what's up.
Because we got 3 today. And they're from different places too, so that's really cool. The other thing that you can do is you can go to our G Plus local page, and if you're in SEO, you know that there's value in a G Plus local review. So we say that every show. How many things do we say every show that are like the same tip over and over again?
Most of the potatoes.
Yeah, most of the potatoes. So we've made it easy for you to get to our G Plus page. It's e-webstyle.com/Google
Plus
or
/Google Plus
or
/G Plus
or
/G Plus.
Any one of those will take us to our G Plus local page. We ask you to do three things there.
About 3 things, 4 things, 5 things. But anyway, when you get there, write us a review. That's most importantly. Make sure it's 5 stars. After you leave us that review, then +1 us and put us in a circle.
Cool. Yep. Sometimes we forget because right now our +1s are lower than the number of reviews. Next, on our Facebook page, which we mentioned already, facebook.com/eWebstyle. There's a click the stars, add a review of us there, and then finally we got a new Stitcher review. Thank you guys for helping us out there. Just go onto your Stitcher account. We still don't know how to do a Stitcher
search
review.
eWebstyle.
And then do it either. I know you can't do it from the web, so it's got to be in the app. And finally, we do, if you're a PHP expert, WordPress like genius, we're looking to work with you. You're looking to work with world-class experts at search engine optimization. Submit a audio resume at 713-510-7846. We have a referral program. You refer us a customer, they pay their bill, we pay you. Get a free website analysis on our website, e-webstyle.com. On any page, you can fill out that form. We will get to your website analysis. And our favorite segment, the Did I skip something?
You skipped Get on your device right now. This big, beautiful sign that's behind me.
Oh, see, it says tweet now. Yeah, I just skipped right over it.
Yeah, so this is hashtag SEO Podcast 243. So go ahead and tweet that. Be sure to tag us in it at eWebStyle, at Best SEO Podcast. That way we can follow you back and do all of our social networking stuff.
And like hang out socially.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how that works. And so our segment is the algorithm cataclysm. Oh yeah, that was a close up of my new goatee.
Yeah, so I'm kind of goatee's all right. Yeah.
So it's not ugly. Is that what I'm hearing? It's not hideous.
So it's a lot of algo cat.
All right.
A lot of things been going on. So let's start off with Bing. So Bing is now controlling how your title tag is shown in the search results.
Okay.
So Google's already doing it.
Right.
If you don't meet the criteria, like the title tag's too long, they'll truncate it. If it's just not on target with your content, they'll reword it, sort of deal. So now Bing is following that same protocol. So take advantage of your title tags. Make sure that you're optimizing them the right way. Make sure they convey the right message, and more importantly, make sure that they're relevant to the content that's on that page. And so that way you won't have to worry about Bing or Google, frankly, rewriting it to make it fit what they wanted to say. So I thought that was interesting that Bing is putting these things in place. Matter of fact, they went on to say they may incorporate pieces of information in the title based on what it has learned from that searcher's preference.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so for example, maybe this searcher tends to always search using brand names or business names instead of, let's say, the product or service. And so if that's the case, then they would include your business name in your title tag because that specific searcher is used to seeing business names.
Yep.
Makes sense. And conversions click-throughs would probably go up, but just be certain you take most control of your title tag. Some more algo cat. So remember last month Google released a statement that they were going to start reducing the amount of photos being shown with authorship.
Right.
So adverse effect to that, paid ads CTRs went up with less photos being shown.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Dope.
Yeah, so I don't know if Google did it to get spike back up the paid clicks. That's what it was seem.
So if Google is true to what their mission is to provide great search results, then now they're going to be analyzing, is the pay-per-click performing better than the clicks? Do people spend more time on those sites? Do they accomplish more? What is it? Are those better results than the organic results that they don't get paid for?
Yeah.
And that have an image of an author next to them. So very interesting.
Very interesting.
So what it does tell you is we will probably have pretty soon author pictures next to pay-per-click ads.
That's what I'm thinking. But I could see it. Those authorship pictures, avatars, they stand out so much. Yeah, exactly. I overlook all of this page stuff. And so that's what's up. And the last one, punch in the face to Matt Cutts. He's just taking a break. Dude taking a leave of absence.
Oh, wow.
Says for a few months till October.
Okay.
Says that he just want to spend some time with the wife and kids.
Oh, good. Man, that's
awesome. No
awesome.
emails. He says he's not responding to no emails. So they got certain emails that's going to be filtered to go to certain people.
Right.
And other stuff.
It's just going to sit in the pot.
Yeah, just going to sit in the pot.
So I guess that means we're not going to interview him until October at least. Yeah. We haven't got that call or even put in that call, so we don't even know what the response would be.
I'm interested to see if we'll get an algorithm update during that time.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, maybe he's release a really dramatic one and get out of town.
I ain't do it. I wasn't here.
Really, I don't know. And then by the time you get back, everyone's like used to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have a few reviews. Let's do news. I just got a little like 3 pieces of news that I thought were interesting. Amazon has petitioned the FFA for drone exemption.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. So they're gonna be doing more research and trying to follow. Actually, they're going to be doing more research on the drones and how to make those work. And it sounded like a big just a PR splash before, right? Oh, we're gonna drones. Yeah, right. Like, they're serious.
Man, when I think about that though, I just envision mosquitoes or insects or like a whole bunch of them. Because Amazon does a lot of shipping, and so
it was interesting. Like 70%, 80% of their packages that they ship are below 5 pounds. A whole lot of them, yeah. So, you know, that's
so it could work on a drone.
Yeah, 80% of their stuff could be delivered by drones pretty easily. Then it's a matter of making sure they're in the right distribution areas, all that stuff. Anyway, that's pretty cool stuff, right? Like, now the thing is the drone gonna ring the doorbell?
Is it gonna just drop parachute landed in your in your yard?
Yeah.
Or, you know, does it try to land and get attacked by the dog? I mean, what happens?
Does it collect a signature?
Does it take a picture of you?
You're like ducking of you picking it up. This is another one. Google's struggling to cope after being asked to censor 250,000 European Union web pages. Remember, there was a court order that said the right to be forgotten, which is interesting. And then finally, your password can be stolen from Google Glass or any other recording device. Now, that's kind of obvious, right? If you were with Google Glass on and I'm typing in my password, you could certainly record that. That's really obvious, right?
Yeah.
What they've done is they've actually written software, so even if you're recording video from the other side and you can't see the actual letters, but they can figure out how you're moving and record passwords. Yeah, so just be careful.
Gotta watch out for people wearing Google glasses around.
So one of their suggestions was, well, randomize the location of the numbers for your pins. So like on an Apple device, on like an iPad, it gives you a keypad. If you randomized the positions, then there would be no way to know it. Now, the problem with that is I'm using like the same shape that's on my phone. I'm just using the keys. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what numbers they are. If you randomize that, I would not be able to get into my iPad. Well, I guess I could go back and figure it out, right? But anyway, so that's all that I got in the news. Now,
man, I needed some Google glasses when I was in school.
Oh yeah. I think that was the title of the article was, you know, the guy who used to cheat, you know, now he's better. Now I can cheat a whole lot easier. All right, so here we have some reviews. This one is from Mike Kaplan. It's a week ago on our G Plus account, and there's no stars. Here's what he says. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep listening after the first 5 minutes, but you guys have some awesome information. We'll start listening way more often.
Punch in the face to Mike, dude. That's what's up.
You got through the potatoes, and you realize there's a lot of meat.
Yeah.
There is a lot of meat. And then here we have another one from Facebook.
5 stars.
This is Don Rizzitti. It says, again, 5 stars. I started listening to your podcast and watching your YouTube channel last month. I'm always looking for information on content marketing, and this is the greatest resource that I have found about SEO optimization thus far.
Man, that's what's up.
Yeah, you are both funny, intelligent, and all around enjoyable to watch. I love starting my day with an e-web style video. Punch in the face, dude. Don. Thank you so much. And then finally,
yeah, but she said a month ago.
Yeah,
because last month we did like 3 podcasts on content.
Yeah,
so
she's loving it. And then finally, this is from Bruce Johnred, and it is 5 stars. Knockout Show, first SEO podcast I've found that tackles topics in a way that relates to beginners and to be-enders. I like that. These guys, be legends, super helpful and massively entertaining. 5 stars.
Knockout Show.
Yeah, Knockout Show.
Face, right?
Yeah.
Knocked out, literally. Man, that's what's up, dude.
That guy gets it. And and it's Bruce Johnred. Thank you so much, Bruce. Thank you so much, Don, and thank you so much, Mike.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, punching the face to all you guys. We really appreciate it.
Very cool.
And a couple punches in the face.
Okay, a little more PTIFs.
Some more love. So this PTIF goes to John Donahue. This is on Twitter at John Donahue USA. He says Friday kudos. The gents at eWebStyle and Best SEO Podcast 236 he was watching. Lots of info and irreverent humor.
All right.
So hashtag SMM. So punch in the face to you, John. Appreciate your follow. At Creative Soldier says it's hashtag SEO Podcast 223. Great episode, guys.
Thank you.
That's what's up. And this last one here, Funzi at FUMZIFOO
or O0
maybe. Funzi fool.
Yeah.
No, Foomsy.
Yeah, Foomsy Foo.
Foomsy Foo. Okay, at Best SEO Podcast, at eWebStyle. I'm getting updated. She's got a long way to go. Hashtag SEO Podcast 146. Yeah, skip over 180 when you get there.
Yeah, you don't need to listen to 180.
I've learned so much from the few podcasts I listen to. Smiley face. So that's what's up. Punch in the face to you. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we said something that that helps your business grow.
Cool.
For real.
Excellent. That is the potatoes of our podcast. It's time to get into the meat. Let's get started.
Yeah, so shout out to Search Engine Journal. Punch in the face to you guys. Found an article there. Look how thick this is.
Whoa.
A whole bunch of pages.
That's a tree.
He had a lot of images and graphs and things like that. So I'll definitely share the link to this article so you guys can go check out the associated artwork with it. But pretty good article. This one is from Neil Patel, at Neil Patel.
Mr. Patel.
Yeah, Patif to you, dude. Great article. Dude says the 8 most important SEO data points of any website.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Yeah.
The 8 most important SEO data points for any website. I like this article because there are hundreds of SEO data points for any website. Exactly. Yeah. And he settled
most
on the
of
top
them useless,
8.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them can't do anything about. But he chose 8 of them that you can. And so,
by the way, I just got to throw this in there. It is always good to sit down with your clients and show them the breadth of information that you can get in Google Analytics. Because we had a client in the other day, and we had
he talks about analytics a lot in here too.
We had been sending him like consistent analytics data, the reports that most of our clients that we know that we're actually interested in. We sent them to him, and when we pulled up the geography section, and he was able to identify where.
Which countries was hitting them, and
he was like, woo, he literally said like, now I know all of this work has been useful, and we're like, yeah, so the other stats show phone calls and email submissions and form submissions and their
conversions, which we thought was kind of important,
and you're excited because you know where they're coming from. So it's always good to sit down with clients and let them see all of the information, because what you think might be important may not be what they think is important, or something that you're convinced is not important at all could be very important.
That's why in our process I made that change.
Yeah.
So now, after that first couple meetings, I'm getting them to list out which reports do you want to see.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's no need for me to send you something you're not interested in seeing.
Ever. Yeah, exactly.
So the 8 most important SEO data points of any website. And the cool thing about this article is he discussed not only what those points are, but why they're important and how you can find them. So, I thought that was pretty informative.
Yeah.
Number 1, domain authority. That's key. I mean, domain is really like the starting point. Like before you can get to the website, you have to know the domain name.
Yep.
And so he references Moz. Moz has a great, kind of ranking algorithm sort of deal that determines the authority of your domain name. He says domain authority is measured on a 100-point scale. If your site is in the 20s, it's not so hot. If your site is in the 90s, you're doing really well. So that's why it matters, right? And how you can find it is Open Site Explorer. Go to Open Site Explorer and put in your URL and figure out,
what
the authority of your domain is, as I believe as you begin doing SEO and getting traffic and building links and things like that, then your domain authority will adjust accordingly. Number 2.
By adjust, we mean go
up. Yeah. Number 2, site speed. He's talking about the load time. He says a website speed is basically how fast it appears in a user's browser.
What's interesting about site speed is that it literally doesn't matter until it's too slow, and then it's the only thing that really matters.
Yeah.
Like, so as long as it's fast enough, it's in that 3-5 second time frame. Just ignore it. Like, don't work. You don't have to work too hard to get from 5 to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Although that's a pretty good jump, but to 3 to 2.5 seconds. You don't really need to spend that much time on that. But as soon as you cross over that 5-second threshold, maybe even that 4-second threshold, it's paramount.
Yeah.
And you like people who try to visit your website and can't see it for 5 seconds, 4 seconds or more.
It's a problem.
Bounce.
Yeah. He says the 2 reasons of why it matters. Site speed is crucial for 2 reasons. 1, SEO. 2, user experience. And I think he's right, but I also think those kind of go together. Like the SEO, if your site speed is too slow, 5, 6, 7 seconds, then Google has a part of the algorithm to determine that, and automatically you won't rank as well you would like to. And from a user experience perspective, if it's slow, then it's just slow, and people hate slow stuff.
Slow sucks.
Yeah, slow sucks. Really it does. So where to find it out, man? I recommend Google's Page Speed Insights. If you go to Google, you search site speed or page speed insights, you'll go right to their page, put your URL in, and it's cool. It'll actually tell you how fast it is on a mobile device, on a tablet, and on a desktop.
I actually have a site speed plugin in Chrome that I use. So every single page that loads up, I can see how quickly it loads. So cool. That's kind of good. So
that was site speed. Number 3, backlinks. He says a backlink is any link to your site from an external site. Backlinks are important. We're talking about the 8 most important SEO data points. And number 3 is backlinks. Backlinks are extremely important. He says it's still extremely important that your site have a variety of strong backlinks to show the search engines that your site is still valuable, useful, and worthy of high rankings.
Yep.
Backlinks are like votes, right? They've always been like that, and that's why linking and backlinking and doing link building and all of that is still a huge portion of the whole SEO process.
Right.
I will say this, and this is kind of my belief, belief, if you will. Backlinks, I believe they're gradually losing value.
Right.
And replacing that value, I think, is like +1s and reviews. I think have equally or sometimes even more value
importance
than a backlink, especially in case of a +1.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just say you get a +1 from a pretty engaged Google Plus user who has tons of influence and people in his circles and people like them and they fully engaged. A +1 from them is probably more valuable than a backlink from some other site.
Yep.
So think about that.
Or maybe even from their website. So if they own a business and they're prolific in terms of generating content and interactions, one of the points is they may never get around to adding it to their website.
But they can +1 you.
Yep.
They can write a review, those sorts of deals. So backlinks are important. Don't ever forget that. You must have them because they do show you who's willing to, put a link to your site from theirs. That says something about your site. But just know that +1s and reviews, which he didn't cover in this, by the way, are probably equally as important. So you can also go to Open Site Explorer if you want to find out how many backlinks you have. I would recommend Webmaster Tools.
Yep.
You go to GMT. GMT will show you your your backlinks, but more importantly, allow you to download them and to a spreadsheet where you can sort them. Maybe you need to work on some sort of
strategy for
building more links, or which ones are, that sort of deal, or disavowing some links even. You need to figure out which ones to do, and Google Webmaster Tools makes it easy to do that. Number 4, the number of indexed pages. So this kind of goes to the content. He says the number of indexed pages is a count of how many pages the search engines have crawled and thus are returning in search queries. Why does this matter? He goes on to say the more pages you have, the more opportunity you have to rank for given keywords. Maybe. I think that having a good page count is key. I think having all of those pages indexed and being able to be found in the Google search is important as well. But don't mistakenly go down this process of creating all of these pages that don't have any content. Because that can have a wrong effect. That can have a negative impact on your SEO.
Yep.
So if page count is good, you want to have blog posts that have, great content. Your web pages need to have great content, so that way when they do get indexed, Google is willing to show them. And frankly, you don't want to get penalized either for having thin content. And so again, while having a number of pages in the Google index and being indexed is great, just make sure that those pages actually have some value.
Yep.
And again, Google Webmaster Tools. That's probably the best place to go and figure out how many pages they have indexed. We use a tool called SEO Quake.
Yep.
Which is a plugin. Works with Firefox, works with Chrome, and it'll
cover the last two.
Yeah, it'll cover how many pages in index. It'll cover. It may even cover your domain authority.
It may. Yeah,
I know it does get the backlinks too. So SEO Quake
at least puts in PR page rank, but I don't know about page authority specifically.
So yeah, SEO Quake, good tool, and it's free. So check it out. Punch in the face to the guys over at SEM Rush. Number 5, social media interaction. Why does it matter? Well, he says social media accounts tell you the number of people who are sharing, liking, or otherwise interacting with your social media presence. This matters because the level of social virality that your site produces is a huge indicator of its SEO success. I don't know about a huge indicator because you could just be a very social person, and so you have a lot of social activity, but your site could still suck. Yep. And so I won't say that, but I will say social signals are definitely important.
For SEO, absolutely. Yeah.
And if I want to drop a tip in right here, I would say this. When including links to anything that's on your site, like service pages or blog posts or things like that, when possible, use the real web address link and not the shortened, bit.ly or whatever URL shortener that's likely part of the tool you're using. Instead put the full link. That way you can.
One reason to have shorter links.
Exactly.
So you can put the full links in there and still get a message to go with it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because if you have a whole link, then you only got 140 characters.
Right.
And let's say Twitter. But social signals are definitely important because, how many followers do you have? Matter of fact, he says the big 4 social sites are Facebook likes, G+ followers, LinkedIn followers, and Twitter followers. Okay. Every company probably could use those, but I think you have to make sure you're using the social sites that are convenient for your business.
Most relevant to your business.
Yeah, if you have a local business like a restaurant, movie theater, retail store, something like that, then Foursquare should be on your list because you want people to check in. That's a huge social indicator.
And Facebook as well.
Yeah, you want people to check in. Maybe you're a photographer or you're doing a lot of image-heavy things, then Instagram should probably be on your list. So make sure the social you are using, because it does have an effect on your SEO, is the right type of social for your business. Number 6, site sessions. Site sessions is key.
Yeah.
And he's going to go into Google Analytics now. And one of the things to remember about a session is that a website session is basically a user interacting with your site. So Google Analytics made a change.
Right.
Remember, they used to show visits.
Right.
And now they don't. They used to show visits and they used to show unique visitors. Now they show sessions.
And unique sessions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so session is, again, not necessarily a visit, because a session is really anytime somebody hit your site and they went through a few different pages. Even if they left and came back a couple hours later and was still on your site, that's still the same session.
Right.
And so I think that's one of the big difference from sessions and visits. Why does it matter? It's because he says the total number of sessions within a given time frame is a helpful number for determining how many people are visiting your site. I think at the end of the day, and I added, the more sessions you have normally means the more people are engaged. Right. They're actually doing things, and they're doing more than one thing. They're looking at multiple pages. So a good way to, what you should see is when you have a high number of sessions, you normally have increased time on site. You normally have a higher page per visit viewing and things like that. So sessions are important. Give you a good idea of what's going on your site. And where do you find that at? Google Analytics. Log in.
Google Analytics.
Number 7, organic visits. He says organic visits are the number of visitors referred by an unpaid search engine. Why does this matter? I wrote down pretty simply because you can pay for it. This wasn't a Google paid ad. This wasn't a Bing Ad Center ad. This wasn't a Facebook post or a Twitter promoted post or anything like that. This is an organic visit to your site. They searched Bing, they searched Google, they searched Yahoo, they searched AOL, they searched, DuckDuckGo. They searched somewhere and got to your site organically, and you didn't pay for that click. That's value. And so where do you find this at? Google Analytics. Log on. Click the organic visits. Go to acquisitions is the tab you look for. Then below that you'll see keywords. You'll see paid and organic. If you click on organic, it'll show you how many organic sessions you had, which keyword brought them there, which is likely not provided, unfortunately.
The most popular one.
Yeah. And so, but that information is there. So go to Google Analytics. And last but not least, number 8, bounce rate. He says bounce rate is defined as the percentage of visitors to a particular website who navigate away from the site after viewing only one page.
Only one page.
And so why is this important? Why does this matter? And this is, Neil, this is one of those things I may disagree with some.
In certain cases, absolutely.
He says a site with a high bounce rate is a site that is performing poorly in the experience of users and therefore in the judgment of the search engines. I do agree with that. I can see why a search engine would think this site is performing poorly because they have a high bounce rate.
Right.
But sometimes, especially if you're a service provider or maybe your main call to action is to get somebody to call you where they have to pick up the phone, that could lead to a high bounce rate if indeed your site is converting well.
Yep.
And so
we'd love to see it.
That's a great user experience.
Absolutely.
Right?
And the search engines will catch this because what will happen is, in the case of a bad bounce, we'll call it a bad bounce.
They usually go back to the search.
Go back to the search and choose another one. In the case of a good bounce, they'll go back to the search, potentially, and shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Not choose another one, do
or
some
change
other
topics.
Topics altogether. So they would be aware of that. It's just, we're one of the few companies that say, you know, we create all this information and content and do all of this SEO optimization for this large, detailed, call to action oriented site, and desperately hope that the users will not read any of it.
Yeah, I want you to come and if
be impressed, wowed, call, fill out a form, and go away.
Yeah, this landing page works. You search for a term, my consistency was there, the continuity was there.
Yeah.
You saw what you were looking for. I had, you know, great content above the fold, maybe a video or something like that, and a great call CTA, and you picked up the phone and called, and so you bounced. That's a great user experience.
Yep.
You know, and it sucks that Google could very well interpret that as not being so
as being a bad experience. Yeah.
So bounce rate. I hope that's one of those indicators that's doesn't have that much weight in regards to an algorithm. I'm pretty sure it has some, but you know, play it close because a high bounce rate could be a good thing.
Yep, absolutely.
So punch in the face to you, Neil Patel, and good folks at Search Engine Journal. That was the 8 most important SEO data points for your website
that you should be monitoring.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, good stuff. So I think we have a little bit of what?
Got a little bit of what, brother? What? Yeah, this is what. Kind of off topic.
Good, by the
yeah,
way.
it goes to LeBron James.
All right, all right.
Yeah, made all the fuss and he's going back to Cleveland.
He's actually going back to Cleveland.
He's going back to Cleveland.
Wow.
I mean, you know, I kind of understood him a little bit. He said that, you know, when he left Cleveland, they hated him. They burned his jerseys. The team owner was, you know, talking bad about him. They ripped all his posters and everything down. But he said he was at the prime of his career and he wanted to chase championships.
Yep.
He went. He got 2. Went to the finals 4 times.
Yep.
I get that. He says now he's still in a good place, but he wants to go back home.
Yeah.
So he's going home. So on that note, I can respect it.
Yeah.
Good luck, but like you could have just said that. You had everybody waiting for weeks. Like, you know, we lost Chandler Parsons.
Yeah.
Waiting on that, and that kind of sucks. So.
Boo.
Yeah. Boo.
All right, so that has been the potatoes and the meat of the podcast. This has been podcast number 243.
243.
We are the most popular internet marketing podcast in the known podcast verse.
Yeah, on iTunes, on the known planet,
Stitcher,
in your universe,
you name it.
Like on your device.
That's because of you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until the next podcast, my name is Chris Burris.
I'm Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.